My name is Margo, and I am a plant-based eating enthusiast, if there's such a thing. Today, the recipe that I'm going to be preparing, I found on the PCRM's website. It's called Greek lentil and white bean soup with an olive and tomato gremolata. In this demonstration, I'll be making two different versions of the gremolata, one with and one without olives, because someone in my household doesn't like the olive. The ingredients for the gremolata, we have 1 teaspoon of the lemon zest. We have 2 to 3 teaspoons of finely chopped parsley, which I'm going to chop shortly. We have 2 tablespoons of the chopped Gremolata olives. We have 1 tomato finely chopped right here. For the soup, we have the 1 cup of dried red lentils. I have 4 cups of cooked white beans that I've separated, 2 cups and 2 cups. I have 1.5 cups of the chopped, and I used white onion. I have 1/2 cup of diced celery. I have 4 cups of water and 2 garlic cloves that will go into the soup. We'll also do about 1/4 cup of the freshly squeezed lemon. I'm just going to squeeze 1 lemon, so I have that here. For the dry spices, I have 4 tablespoons of the dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I have some freshly ground black pepper in here, and it's about 1 teaspoon. And then we'll use fresh parsley to garnish the soup. And typically what you want to do when you have fresh herbs is bunch it really tightly together. Make sure you have your fingers away from the knife as you cut. So I'm going to put 1/2 here. The other 1/2 in this. For zesting the lemon, you don't necessarily have to have a lemon zester. If you have a grater that has a fine grate, you can use that. Here. And then we'll need some at the end. The olives, the garlic, organic tomatoes. So you're just going to mix this thoroughly. And now it's time to make the soup. I've already turned on the pot. We're going to put it on a medium heat. We're going to saute the onions with no oil. We're going to use water in this instance. I really love red lentils because they are a bean that you don't have to soak. Also, they're low in sodium and saturated fat. They're high in potassium and fiber. They also are one of the top 5 meat alternatives as along with beans. So beans is my second power player here in the soup. I'm going to start with the onions first so that it gives it a little bit of time to sweat. You'll just adjust your heat as you go. If it starts to stick or if it starts to burn, you just turn your fire down just a tad. Go ahead and add the celery. It's been about 5 or 6 minutes. We've had the onions and the celery sauteing. So now we are going to add the 4 cups of water, 1/2 of the white beans, the 1 cup of red lentils. We're going to add our seasoning. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Okay. Once the soup has come to a boil, just stir it to make sure nothing is sticky. We're going to turn the heat down. Turn it down to low and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So now that your soup has been simmering for 20 minutes, you turn the heat off, and I've removed it from the heat. And we're going to use the immersion blender to puree the soup until it's smooth. And if you don't have an immersion blender, you can put it in a regular blender or high-speed blender and do the same thing, or just mash it with a fork or a potato masher. So, because I'm short, I'm going to go ahead and get this started. At this point, we're going to add the remaining white beans, the lemon juice, the fresh garlic, and then the 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. This recipe makes about 5 1-cup servings. And then what we're going to do here is you're going to put a couple of teaspoons of our gremolata that we made earlier. That lemon zest and parsley really bring a freshness to the soup. Hope you enjoy.